Welcome to 25 and Broke, where I teach you how to stop being broke financially, socially, physically, and spiritually so that you can stop being a wuss and start being a winner.
Today we're discussing how to become an expert at anything. How to become an expert at anything. Okay. So my buddy John Pridmore is an international speaker. He's a Christian speaker, right? So he's a man of faith, and he goes out there and he evangelizes. He mostly goes to different churches across the world, across the country, etc. And over time, he's built up this acumen, this expertise. He's become an expert in his industry. So how did he do that? That's what I'm talking about today. So John is, I've sat down and chatted with him and just kind of got into his head a little bit and be like, bro, how do you do this? How do you build up such a huge audience across the world where you literally, he literally can go into any city and he knows different people there. He could stay with them. They invite him into his home, etc. He could do it in Ireland. He could do it in the UK. He could do it here in the United States. That's so cool, right? So he's got like these friends across the globe because of his visibility and because he's such an expert in his industry. So, what John has done is John has showed up and John has practiced his craft, which is speaking on stage, connecting with audiences, kind of like what I'm doing right here. I'm nowhere at the level that John is by any means, right? But I'm working towards that. So John he's up there and he's doing, hour after hour of presentations that he has under his belt, learning what he's good at, learning his voice, his unique voice, getting better and better. So it's, I find it really interesting with John. I'm just like, man, that's so cool that you built this acumen. And, he says, it's all about, putting in the time. And I'm going to step back for a second before I kind of give you how to do it per se, and let's define what it means to be an expert. What does that actually mean, right? So a lot of experts out there talk about in order to be an expert, you literally need to know and be able to speak on about 10% more than the average person on any given topic. So if you want to be a subject matter expert on fitness, bodybuilding, you literally just need to know about 10% more than the average person in your audience. If you know about 10% more than the average person and you're able to present it in a confident, clear, articulate way, over time, if you do this consistently, you will become an expert in your field because you know more than the average guy or gal. So that's really interesting, right? A lot of us think, in order to be an expert, I got to get all these degrees and I have to go this route. Well, yeah, if you want to be like a expert, PhD and have all these degrees, nothing wrong with that. But in order to speak on different topics and be an expert in that, again, 10%, that's not much. So, some of you out there, you have expertise, I know, in different areas. You could talk about different things that interest you, that you're passionate about. So here's the clincher. How do you become an expert in these? Well, the trick is this, and it's not really a trick. It's more just hard work. You have to put in 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours of practicing whatever it is you want to become great at. So here's where I'm looking at you, right? Right into this lens, looking right into your eyeballs, saying, what's that thing right now that you think you could be great at? That others told you you're already naturally good at? Does that thing excite you? Does it light you up? Are you fired up? Do you lose track of time when you're doing it? If so, are you willing, this is the next question, are you willing to put in 10,000 hours to get really good at it, to become the best in the world at that thing? Because I guarantee you this, if you're willing to put in 10,000 hours to practice that craft, to show up on the field and practice that sport, to sit there at the piano and practice those keys for 10,000 hours, which, by the way, averages, if you do the math, about 7 to 8 years of your life, if you're willing to do that, then you will become an expert at that one thing. And you'll be much better. If you do 10,000 hours, right, this is like high achievement. So you'll be better than 10%. You'll probably be in like the 10% bracket of people out there as far as experts on the planet with that one thing. So how do you become an expert at anything? Put in 10,000 hours in that one thing. And in order to do those 10,000 hours, you've really got to pick something that excites you, because it's going to be a lot of work. There's going to be days you're going to wake up and you're just not going to be in the mood to do it. Days when you just feel like crap and you're like, man, the last thing I want to do right now is this. But I'm going to do it anyway, because I want to be the best in the world at something. I want my life to have meaning, right? I want to die with no regrets. So if that excites you, if that fires you up, there's your answer. 10,000 hours practicing that one thing. My name is Joseph Warren, and you were made for greatness. So stop being a wuss and start being a winner. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.